Hey guys, thanks for checking out this clip of the So Yeah podcast. If you like what you hear, give it a like. If you want to hear more, give it a subscribe. You can hear our full podcast on Spotify, link down below. So, yeah. Well, again, guys, let's get into our questions about this film. Once again, this was well received by critics and more recently has been well received by the audience. In fact, it's now considered by many to be one of the best Batman films ever made. But at the time, it most certainly was not considered that. We had, full on hour-long news specials, folks talking about how it was so wrong of them to make a Batman film this dark and still try to market it for kids. We had kids who had obviously been coached by their parents to give these long speeches about how the film took advantage of kids and like it was so laughable to see these trained monkeys performing for their parents. But guys, before we get too deep into that, what do we think worked with this film, Batman Returns?
I like Danny DeVito as the Penguin. I think he was the best Penguin that's ever been portrayed, and that maybe they'll get some hate or not, but I think he really brought some terrifying elements to the Penguin because typically the Penguin is portrayed as kind of a gangster character that's just kind of portly and likes to be in cold areas with water. um, but I think he made the Penguin pretty terrifying, and he really, really, really got into his role for it. Um, and Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, like I've already said in the fun facts, she really tried to put her all into this role. So I think that they had a really good cast of villains. Then I go to Billy D. I just like Billy D because I'm biased. Lando Calrissian.
I thought he wasn't in part
Him
two.
being he was for a small part, wasn't he, Cody? Actually, he
Yeah,
was. Yeah, this was his first show up as Harvey Dent, wasn't he?
Now, his
I thought
first
he was
show
the
up was the
first of
89.
very. I thought he
Oh, okay, so he was in
just showed up
'89
very
as well.
briefly in '89, and I think he showed up again here because, like, I think Tim Burton was really trying to build up Two-Face.
I remember his presence being a lot more, especially in the opening scenes with Christopher Walken's character. Um, and I just like Christopher Walken, so his involvement was nice, even though he didn't play that big of a character. I enjoyed the Tim Burton aesthetic still in this film. And, like I said, I'm already biased. I like the Super Nintendo game, so I felt like it was a good movie to me. It was darker, so I appreciated that as well.
Yeah. And Cody, how about you, sir?
I feel like it was very good. Michelle Pfeiffer again put in like everyone's been saying, put in a really good performance. Um, and Danny DeVito did a good job as like a creepy, terrifying villain. Like it does steeply depart from how Penguin was normally displayed or portrayed in the comics. But he does a good job as being this weird mutant man who deeply despises everyone and yet desperately wants to be uh, a part of the group. So he did a very good job with that. He made a good villain. And of course, Michael Keaton turned in another pretty good performance, if a bit flatter, I feel, in this one for Bruce Wayne and Batman. It was okay. I feel like his performance in the '89 as Batman and Bruce Wayne was a bit better, but you know, it is what it is. He did good. It's always nice to see Christopher Walken, but I'll touch more on him later. So yeah, I feel like some of the set pieces were cool, if a bit even more goofy.
Yeah, that's
So
that's fair. That's fair. So what worked in the film for me was like apparently Tim Burton, like I said before, wanted a lot more creative freedom than was like that was his stipulation to making the sequel was he wanted to have a lot more freedom to just be himself. And you can tell that he was given that freedom. Like the film just oozed even more of his Burton isms to an extreme, I
mhm.
say. Like way more than a lot of the Burton films I've seen. Like he really pulled no punches with this one. Like he was having fun. He was having fun being as dark as he possibly could be, and I liked it. Like, I liked that nothing was held back. Like, I liked that Batman actually hit and head-butted Catwoman and didn't just let her beat him up, and he like kicked her away one time. They fought each other, and that felt really good to see actual equality. Just hero versus villain, and gender didn't matter. I love that. What the comic books only ever hinted at, this movie actually showed. Like, it uncovered what the Batverse really looked like, with the blood and the poisoning and how ugly the life of crime and the life of the vigilante that fights it can be. I really appreciated how this film just took a no holds barred take on it.